Hi everyone, I'm Brandis Montgomery, a doctor of physical therapy and a owner of On the Move Massage and Physical Therapy here in Metro Atlanta. And you're listening to On the Move, where we will be discussing and educating athletes, active adults, their coaches, their parents on anything doing with physical therapy, progression, strength training, and injury prevention. So let's get started with our first session, where we will talk about the reasons why you need a physical therapist in your life. So I often am told that patients of mine, clients of mine have said, can't I just do these things at home? Or I feel like if I just went to the gym, I would be able to get rid of my pain or progress or whatever to address their goals. And this happens frequently when they've come from another clinic where it's common for them to have only done exercises, maybe gotten some heat or some ice, or maybe they got electrodes on them. And then just done a bunch of exercises. And although it's not to say that's not beneficial, it may not be the only things that you need in order to get to where you want to be. If you are going to Google, for example, your symptoms, then you may find all kinds of things that have to do with your pain or what it is that you're looking for to achieve your goals. So, for example, you could Google a symptom that you might be having, and tomorrow Google says you're going to die. This is extreme, I know. However, it can be that wide of a range as to what those symptoms equal, because Google is searching from databases all over. So it's not a very specific way to find out where your pain is coming from and how to address it. Now, in general, is it good to just be moving and getting exercise? Sure, yes. But exercises can be very specific to what it is that you have going on. And an example of that is with back pain. We'll speak lower back pain specifically. Your back pain can be coming from having too much flexion in your spine, and you need to mobilize it or strengthen the muscles that help you more upright. Or it could be because you're too upright, or your hips are too upright, and it's causing you to have too much extension in your spine, in which case we sometimes need to create more of a neutral space for that. And if that's the case, then you wouldn't want to do exercises that do the other. So if you need more flexion in your spine, you need to create more abdominal strength, then you wouldn't want to do exercises that put you into more extension, that could cause you more pain and make it more difficult for you to progress. So one thing that you would want to make sure of is having a physical therapist assess where your pain is coming from and why, so that in the future you know going into it what things are going to be best for you to work on. And then there's this aspect that people think they can just start working out again and then they won't have pain. And sometimes that is the case. If you're just sedentary, our bodies were not made to be sedentary, and all of a sudden with this technology world that we are in, we've become a very sedentary society. However, sometimes going to the gym can be just as painful, or returning to your sport can be just as painful, and therefore not the solution to all of your problems. So there are specific exercises that need to be done in order to build up the strength that helps you prevent further pain, and then you can progress to the gym. One of my favorite goals for my clients is to help them build the strength in the muscles that they need and the mobility where they need it, and then help them figure out how to transition those types of exercises to a gym program so that they become independent and knowing what it is that they need to progress, continue building. Just because you say you're going to go back to the gym and you're going to work out doesn't mean all your problems are solved. You may be thinking that sounds like a great idea, or you have all the greatest intentions, but your pain limits you from being able to exercise, or makes you feel more depressed sometimes, so you don't feel like going out to the gym. And then there's the people that may start working out, but it's causing them pain. So that wouldn't be your first option or first place to start treatment. And then the favorite of mine is, I don't have time. I don't have time for all these exercises. So why would I work with a physical therapist? Well, the most important part to your physical therapy is learning how to incorporate these things into your life. Not just setting aside 30 minutes or an hour to exercise, but how do these motions affect my daily activities? Because that's when we hurt, right? So we hurt when we're sitting too long, or when we're driving, or when we're picking things up, or when we've been walking for a long time, or trying to cook. That's when we hurt. So it's more important than just sitting down and doing your exercises every day is incorporating these techniques and these philosophies into your life. An example of this would be working on shoulder pain for my overhead athletes. But if they hurt in the day, anytime they just reach for an object, Well, okay, now we need to figure out what's happening when you reach, or maybe not happening when you reach, so that we can fix that. And then you can practice that 1,000 times a day when you reach for objects. So that is your exercise. You don't have to have a 30-minute time period when you can sit down to do them. You can just reach for objects and use these new techniques. How your shoulders move. What does your posture look like when you reach for an object? What muscles are you using, or what muscles did you forget to use? Those are all the most important aspects and most important things when working with a physical therapist. They can help you see and learn those different techniques. And then you transition that to your life. You practice them 1,000 times. That's how we train our brain to do things in a new pattern or a new way. We have to show it a pain-free idea and then do it 1,000,000,000,000 times. And a lot of my clients think that I'm joking when I say I want you to do this 100 times this weekend, but I'm serious, because you need to incorporate them into your life and really just start to contract those muscles, tell your brain how to turn them on and how to use them, so that you know going forward, if I reach for an object and that's painful, what was I doing or not doing that I can do better either the next time when I reach, or maybe I just redo that situation and try to do it better at that moment. The exercises that the physical therapist gives you should facilitate the gains that you've made in your physical therapy. So again, you shouldn't just be doing strength training all the time, although important. We do want to make sure that the progression on our own is incorporated into our activity, our sport, our training. So again, for my overhead athletes, we want to strengthen your muscles surrounding your shoulder. Maybe it's your rotator cuff. Maybe it's your scapular muscle. Maybe it's your postural muscle. Some of those all intertwine too, but we want to strengthen them. But at the end of the day, if I don't know how to turn those muscles on when I'm playing volleyball, for example, then they're not going to really help me like they should. So transitioning your exercises from an exercise, a strength training, to a functional motion and learning how to use them in your activity is the most important part. So in summary, there are 3 reasons why you really need a physical therapist. There's a lot more than that actually, but 3 that we talked about today, why you need a physical therapist. And I'm here for you to reach out to if you need one and you don't know who to go to. It doesn't matter if you're here in Georgia or not. I can help direct you if I need to, or we can always do virtual sessions. And those 3 reasons are we think that we can take care of it on our own and may have good intentions, but Googling things isn't always the best idea, because who knows if that leads to the direct symptom or the direct situation you have going on. The second reason is we think that we can just exercise and return to the gym and all will be well, which again, we might have great intentions, but doesn't always solve our problems and sometimes can make it worse. And the third reason is that we need to understand how to take our exercises and fit them into our life, into our day, and turn our muscles on and know how to use them and not just strengthen them. So if you've got more questions about this, if you would like to set up a free consultation for us to chat about what it is you have going on and see if physical therapy is what you need, then you can go to my website and schedule a consultation. Again, those are free, just over the phone for us to chat to see kind of what you have going on. Hope everyone learned something great today, and join us again next week for another On the Move.